For us, the ocean is blue, cool, deep, life-giving. But at certain moments in Earth's history, the ocean was not a refuge. It was the heat source itself. We blame extreme heat on deserts and volcanoes, but in Earth's hottest era, the inescapable danger was the ocean itself. About 252 million years ago, Earth entered what we now call the Great Dying Period. Ocean temperatures rose to nearly 40 degrees Celsius, even higher in shallow seas. The ocean didn't boil, but it began to lose oxygen. Warmer water holds less oxygen. The ocean slowly became a suffocating world. In some areas, oxygen nearly vanished. Microbes producing hydrogen sulfide took over. The ocean may have turned green, even purple. This is not science fiction. This is Earth's own past. The land was too hot, the ocean's hotter. Nowhere to escape. Over 90% of marine species disappeared during this period. Earth doesn't need to burn, it just needs to warm slowly. When the ocean gets too hot, life systems will collapse one by one. Today's ocean is still blue, but in the deep sea, temperatures are rising. Earth has walked this path before. The question is, are we following in its footsteps? Ocean warming is not confined to the surface. Heat travels with currents penetrating the deep ocean. Once cold and stable waters begin to lose their boundaries, a healthy ocean is stratified. The upper layer is warm water. The lower layer is cold water. But when the entire ocean warms, this order begins to break down. No wind, no mixing, no new oxygen. The ocean remains, but it has stopped breathing. It was not predators that caused extinction, not asteroids. It was temperature, slow, relentless heating. Carbon dioxide from massive volcanic activity dissolved in the sea. The ocean acidified, coral skeletons weakened, shells could no longer form. When life disappeared, color disappeared with it. No coral, no schools of fish, only floating microorganisms remained. The Earth did not die, but it took millions of years to rebuild a habitable ocean. The first to return were not large creatures. They were heat-tolerant, acid-tolerant, low-oxygen survivors. The ocean does not speak, but it remembers every rise in temperature, every collapse. Its memory is written in the sedimentary layers. Today, the ocean is warming again. The difference is, this time there is one species observing and documenting it all. When the ocean overheats, surface life disappears first. Sunlight still enters the water, but there's no reaction. Plankton decreases, oxygen drops, deeper creatures move upward, only to collide with the heat. Disasters on land have boundaries. Ocean disasters do not. For marine life, water is not just a home, it is a wall. When the entire ocean warms, all escape routes disappear. Hypoxic zones expand, dark, lifeless seawater spreads across the seabed. The deep sea was once the last refuge, but when the heat reaches it, even the most stable ecosystems begin to collapse. This catastrophe did not happen instantly. It lasted for hundreds of thousands of years. Slow changes gave life no time to adapt. No alarms, no explosions, just rising temperatures. This is an almost silent ocean. No biting, no chasing, just microorganisms drifting in warm, oxygen-poor water. Life on Earth once came so close to ending. In that era, there were no witnesses. Now, there are. It wasn't a few abnormal seas. It was a planet wrapped in warm oceans. Day ended. The heat did not. At night, the ocean kept releasing the energy it had stored. The equator was no longer distinct. The poles were no longer cold. The world lost its contrast. No clear seasons, no stable cycles. Climate lost its rhythm, evaporation intensified, rainfall became chaotic. The water cycle no longer nourished land, it fed the ocean again and again. When oceans overheated, land could not escape. Forests withered, soils lost life. The ocean is not a backdrop, it is Earth's engine. When the engine overheats, the entire planet stalls. In deep-sea sediments, scientists found the evidence: anomalous isotopes, sudden chemical shifts. These traces are time burned by heat. They never fade. This may not have been Earth's peak temperature, but it was the longest-lasting heat. This was a stress test for life itself. Most did not pass. When temperatures finally fell, the oceans remained silent for a long time. New ecosystems formed on a blank slate. No memory, no competition. The ocean possesses a patience humans struggle to grasp. It can wait for millions of years. Earth was once pushed to its limits by its oldest elements: water, heat. In that era, no eyes were watching, no records, no history, only events. When everything was hot, heat lost its meaning. It became background, the new normal. Ecosystems in the heat became sluggish. Evolution was forced to slow down. No sudden turning points, no rescue, only endurance. The planet was once alone, not because life didn't exist, but because nothing responded. Water could create life and also trap it. When it became too hot, it was no longer gentle. This was not just an ocean. It was the mass of the planet. When it warmed as a whole, there was nowhere to ignore. Life didn't disappear, it just turned its volume to the lowest. No strategy, no choice, only waiting. When cooling finally began, no one noticed. Change was too slow. The first to respond were not large organisms. They were small and simple, almost invisible. Oxygen slowly returned, not as a surge, but as a seep. Green appeared first, then other colors followed. This ocean was not the same as before, but life accepted it. The era of that hot ocean is sealed in rocks and sediments, waiting to be understood. Today, we stand beside oceans that are still blue, but this planet remembers another version of itself. The hottest oceans Earth has known were not an end. They were a limit that was crossed. Even after it ends, heat still lingers, not as temperature but as a state. After extinction, the ocean's rules are rewritten. Survival is no longer about strength but endurance. Complex life vanishes first. Left are the simplest forms with the barest needs. This is not recovery. This is a reset. When new life emerges, there's no old ecosystem to guide it. Everything must relearn. Evolution continues, but silently. No bursts, no blooms. In the geological record, there's a nearly blank chapter, an era where life leaves little trace. The ocean doesn't turn blue overnight. It cools, clears, and slowly reflects the sky again. Stability returns, but it's a different balance. Currents shift. Chemical cycles adjust. The ocean seems to learn not to touch the edge again. Earth doesn't warn. It just responds. Blue is not a promise, it's a temporary state. We call this moment now. On Earth's scale, it's an instant. The ocean doesn't favor any species. It only reacts to energy and physics. The hottest oceans are over. What they left behind continues.